Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, credit can save you, ladies and gentlemen. Buying assets with credit? Actually, that's going to be a question. Are you going to use other people's money? Well, in light of the amount of money people have left over as disposable income to invest, it looks like you may have to get credit. So, therefore, we're not advocating it, but you may need to be a part of the credit system to make sure you buy assets instead of liabilities. So, tonight, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much again for being here. And make sure you smash that like button, as I've already mentioned. But the other part that I haven't mentioned is please share the videos, because you never know who's out here trying to look for information, who may need help with information. Unsuspecting people. Sometimes you don't need information, but you receive it. So that's why you're good friends with people. You just never know. So once again, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it on a Friday night, because you could be anywhere. And let me see who's in the house tonight. It looks like Jawway J is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live stream. And he has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. Thank you so much for being a member of the channel. And he brings his tagline. Hello, SSN Nation. Happy Friday, everyone. Received the notifications and smashed the like button. This is great news. He's the first person this evening that has mentioned it. So thank you so much for being here once again. And he has smashed that like button. Give it a one piece, as I've mentioned before. Laverne Penix is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live stream. And he too has that wonderful icon next to his name, which I thank you so much and I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and trailer. That's 2 people tonight. Can we get a record for this evening? Thank you so much. And in this YouTube street, we also have a nickname for him, Mr. Cool. That's right. Laverne Penix is Mr. Cool. He's here tonight. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much once again for being in the house on a Friday night. And Victor Marrero, soon to be retiree, T-minus 2 months or less till he's Mr. Worldwide. And welcome to the SSN Nation Friday Night Live stream with that icon as well next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we try to do here, ladies and gentlemen. What he means by do this means to help you and help us help you. I like it. It's like that Tom Cruise thing. Help me, help you. That's what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get on with this. Victor Marrero, nice recovery with the market today. Exactly. It was a good month. May was a good month in the markets. I hope folks were buying over the last 2 days. Yes, because again, when there's blood in the streets, Victor Marrero knows the rule. Buy time. That's how you build that passive income. He's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen, because those assets that we talk about, you know they are in the stock market. If that's where all the top 10% of the wealthiest are, 89, 90% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. you need to be there. It's that simple. Wherever the rich people hang out and buy, you need to be there. They buy art, you need to buy art. They buy stocks, equities, you need to buy stocks and equities. They buy real estate, you need to buy real estate. They buy businesses, you need to buy businesses. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. This is not rocket science. That's what you need to do. You follow the lines of wealth. You need holding company, so then you have subsidiary companies underneath. You need to do that. You want an offshore company, just like them. You need to do that. You want trust, and I'm not talking about trusting somebody. I'm talking about trust with an EIN number, that you make sure that if you pass away, your trust still survives, and the state, federal agencies have no say in where the assets go. That's what the wealthy do. That's what you need to do. We've talked about this over the last 5 years. We'll talk about it some more in the next 3 years, because my timeline, my back to retirement, I'm going to tell you right now, I've already figured it out. I'm back to retirement after 3 more years. That's it. 3 years from now, the thousands of videos will be left as history. So you got 3 more years with me, ladies and gentlemen. So come along for the ride. It ain't over yet, because we still have to talk about InstaVid, AI. We still have to talk about ways to make sure you get assets, because we want you to win, because Shark Tank is here too. So we got a lot more to talk about tonight. So stay tuned. Joe Nay, welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream. And he has that wonderful icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate as well. And he brings his tagline. What's good, SSN? You know, you in the house. I'm in the house. The rest of the nation's in the house. We have viewers, podcaster listeners. We have people on Twitch and X and a few other social media platforms out here watching. So you know it's good. How is everybody? I'm in DR running around in this heat. Oh, Joe Nay, where you at, man? But I'm not complaining, because I'll take the heat to the stop struggling now. Exactly. We on fire out here. Glad you're here. Look, I'm still here in the DR myself. You know where we hang out. You know where La Bruja is. You know where Los Corrales is, the spot where most people are going to hang out, and if you're not staying at the all-inclusives. So, once again, music playing in the background, outside. Yeah, that's how close I am to the music. And nice little breeze, but it's not that good of a breeze in here. So we might have to do some AC work. But nonetheless, Joe Nay, you know I have to come see you, man. We have to meet up. So let me know how long you're going to be in town. Joe Nay says, I also got the notification. I think I saw several trailers. And guess what? I also smashed that like button. That's right. Give it a 1 piece, everybody. So I want to thank you so much once again for being in the house, Joe Nay, with that icon next to your name. Now, I've talked about something the last week or two, and you know what I'm going to do? A lot of people, I do have a video for Smart Credit. So I've showed this several times because it actually helps you with your credit, and they have a new program where it's free for about 5 or 6 months. This can help improve your credit score, because your credit is going to definitely be an asset in the next 3 years, because you're not going to be able to pay cash for assets. You're going to need other people's money if you plan on coming up. All right. So let me see if I can find that video. But while I'm talking about it in the previews, I might as well tell you one of the main factors that I like is because there's so much fraud going on these days. Just by having Smart Credit, they have a program built in that whoever is your family member that resides at your address that is registered, if there was fraud from about any of them, anything happens to any of them, you will be covered plus them. So that's one unique feature that they have. So just for starters, we will start with that. Number two, you will know also, especially if you're looking for a job, at hiring index. If you're looking for a car, you'll know your FICO credit score. That is pretty major. That is excellent. And they also have your insurance score too. So check out this little preview. I've showed it before, but check this out now. It's free to sign up. Smart Credit link is down below in the description box. I might put a link in the chat room.
Smart Credit is a fast, simple solution to a better credit score, more online privacy, and greater control of your money. Did you know the average person can add 97 points to their credit score but aren't aware of it? They don't even know how to get these points. Our average member adds 61 points in just 20 days using Smart Credit. That could save you $10,000 in interest on a car loan and over $100,000 in the life of the average mortgage loan. And Smart Credit is the only credit management system that gives you a spending and payment plan to help you add more points to your credit score. And if you already have a good credit score, this feature shows you how spending could affect your score and how to prevent losing these hard-earned points. Plus, we don't just show your credit score and provide alerts, we're the only ones to give you a personalized plan with action buttons to add points. Our patented action buttons allow you to communicate directly with your creditors and even your financial institutions to dispute errors, ID fraud, and more. No more mailing letters and no more long hold times. We also help protect you and your loved ones. Our $1 million whole family fraud and scam insurance covers your entire family in your household at a much lower cost than the competition. And by the way, have you Googled your name lately? You may be shocked by how many websites expose and sell your private information. Use Privacy Master to easily request the removal of your information to stop these sites from selling it permanently, all with the push of a button. Another way we beat the competition, our Money Manager feature finds your bank accounts so you can link them without searching. We also have instant statements and action buttons to ask questions, fix problems, and reverse unrecognized credit card charges directly with your financial institutions. Smart Credit. It only takes 1 minute to enroll. Get started today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that just gives you an idea. Remember, they started a new program where they allow you to sign up for free so you can check it out. So use the link in the chat room, please. I would be greatly appreciative of that. And also, there are several reasons. In case you missed it, it also tells you when to pay your credit that you have to maximize the best improvement in credit score. That is pretty awesome in itself. So again, hopefully you like that. If you have not checked it out, you can check it out for free. Come on. Use the link in the chat room or down below in the description box. Either way, get on board, know your credit, but you do not want liabilities. You want to use your credit from this day forward to buy assets. And assets here in the SSN Nation means you have money coming back. That's what an asset is. Do not fall for the old buying an asset like a car is an asset when in fact it's a liability. Don't fall for the 100-year-old plan to banks winning because they tell you you buy a home and that's an asset. Some people are now listening to me like, Eric, what are you saying about a home? They go up in value. Yes, they do, ladies and gentlemen. But they traditionally weren't supposed to go up in value 5%, 10%, 20% in any given year. Excuse me. So the problem is because of our money supply increase, housing prices have increased. So people think that's a great idea. My house went up $150,000. Well, see, it used to take about 15 to 20 years. Now it could be 2 or 3 years in a hot spot, a hot location that people all want to buy at because housing prices seem to go up every day. So therefore, people have these $150, $200, $300,000 within a short time span, 4 or 5 years, and then they can tap it. Well, a lot of people have been utilizing that ever since the late 1990s. And even to this day, in some markets, housing prices increase so fast that people tap into their home equity line of credit, but you still owe it. And you can sell the house. It gets paid, yes. But at the same time, you do realize you actually paid for a portion of that. And if you stay in there past about 20, 23 years, then you've actually paid more than what you borrowed. That's the beauty of banks wanting people to buy homes. So this point forward, you have 3 years before upper middle class is wiped out. So you're going to have to make a couple of choices. Get your credit in order ASAP. Buy assets with credit with a lower credit amount. So you want to make sure your credit is good, very good. So you can get low interest rates when they reduce this, because the price of assets are going to rise. Then you are using other people's money. That's what you want. All right. So keep all that in mind, because the next 3 years, you're going to need all of this. And in fact, I need to make a video, what you need to do in the next 3 years, because I'm done. So what is this? This is 2024, right? June 1st, 2027. That will be my last video. I'm already telling you right now. I'm not going to do it any longer. All right. So we're going to be talking about pre-construction real estate as usual. And I have bad news for everybody. You guys are out here sleeping, been sleeping. After 4 years, I've been talking about this. You guys have been sleeping. If you've been sleeping, thinking there's going to be a better time, I'm just going to tell you the news right now. Your credit's not going to be able to save you. You're going to have to spend more money. So here's what's happening. 4 years ago, 3 years ago, a 2-bedroom penthouse unit you could have bought, and mind you, we're talking about only about a 800 to 900 square foot condo with generally a 500 to a 700 or 800 terrace up top. All right. So 500 square feet, 600, 700 square feet terrace up top. Those used to be 120 to about 150. It took 4 years. But if you're going with pre-construction, they are selling penthouse units now for $250,000 to $300,000 and almost the same size. Now, this is crazy because you can buy villas for 220, 230, 250 to 300,000. So this now makes the market very, very interesting here. What I mean by interesting is the realtors are now going to have a very interesting time trying to promote these, because now, instead of it being so cheap and the villas cost a little bit more, now you can buy villas for less than the penthouse unit. So what would you rather have? A villa in a nice little community, or a condo that has a nice terrace up top for the same price? This is going to make things very interesting from this point on. But the most wicked part of all, ordinary citizens, you are not going to be able to buy. Why do I say that? It's very simple. Because the payment plans that we used to be able to do, 10% down, 20% during construction, or 10% down, 30% during construction, it's almost over. Trying to negotiate that now, I believe I got the last negotiations for it, but who knows? It all depends. But I'm telling you right now, here in Dominican Republic, it's going to be over. Everybody is doing 20, 60, 20. That's 20% down, 60% during construction, 20% on the other end. That's Noval's favorite. But let's just say you don't like it. So no problem. but they're going to do 20, 40, 40. Now, some people might say, Eric, that's no big deal. Well, let me explain to you what a $200,000 one bedroom looks like now. See, this is where we're going. 190, 170, 200 for one bedrooms that are, 1,000 square feet. But so what? They're still a one bedroom. Now, I'll use $200,000 as an example. 20% down now means 40 grand. Some people would say, okay, Eric, I have the 40 grand. But now 20% or 40% on 200,000 is 80 grand. So I suggest you start dividing, let's just call it 30 months into 80 grand. Do you want to pay $2,500 a month for 2.5 years and wait to find out if it's going to be built, delivered in 2.5 years? What if it's going to be delivered in 4 years? 2.5 years, you've paid 60%, but they're delayed. Something happens. It's 1.5 years later. So now you had to wait 4 years instead of 2.5. You still going to be happy? And you had to pay $2,500 per month. Now, as you very well know, we know the stats here in the SSN Nation. The latest stat I dropped today, we had talked about it on Wednesday and Monday, where 78% of United States citizens are living paycheck to paycheck. The rest of the world follows America. So if Americans are living like that with paycheck to paycheck numbers, you can best believe the rest of the world is somewhere like 60, 65 as well. Best case scenario. Now, this is where you are going to have a problem because a lot of people cannot afford to take $2,500 out of their household and put it somewhere every month. There's less people that can do that now because we know 70 to 78% of people live paycheck to paycheck here in America. So that leaves 20% can possibly afford it. So let's just keep things real. We don't sugarcoat here. We understand the numbers and numbers don't lie. So that means there has to be a downtick from Canadians, from United States citizens buying worldwide real estate properties unless they have other real estate properties and they're using the profit from those to come to the DR and buy. But then again, this wouldn't affect you. So I'm just letting you know at 200,000 what your prospects are. When somebody says 250,000, which is now what a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom penthouse unit costs, now you're going to find yourself, what is 40% of 250,000? That's 100,000. Now you have those same 30 payments. Are you willing to pay $3,500 a month now? That's almost like a house note in America. In a lot of places. It's rent in a lot of places as well. But the point I'm trying to make, you're going to need either credit or you're going to need some cash, assets, passive income coming in to pay for this. And heaven forbid if this goes to 300,000, which a lot of properties now you're going to have to spend from 220, 240 to 300. And once you hit 300 and you start talking about 120,000 and somebody goes, yeah, we have 36 payments. You owe us 120,000 for 36 payments. You really want to pay 3,800, 3,750 per month? Almost 4,000 in some cases, depending on how many months are available. Let's say there's 28, 29 months and you have to pay 120,000. You're going to pay 4,000 a month, 4,500 a month. Now you see where I'm going with this? You're being eliminated unless you have a higher income of disposable money. And this also eliminates the OCs, the ordinary citizens. You're just going to have to wave bye-bye. Sorry, It was nice to know you. Eric talked about it. He said it was going to be a timeline when it was going to be done. It's done. 5 years, just like I said. Done. OCs, you can't afford it. You can't pay $45,000 a year. Some of you can, yes. But we know 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So therefore, you don't have the $4,000. You don't even have the $1,000 extra. Let's get real. We also know if you check the video today, 72% of Americans do not have $2,000 in their bank account. 2,000. So do you really think, for whatever reason, I think there's going to be enough people to all of a sudden just blow over here with these newly increased prices, and they're just going to keep going up because the cost of materials are going to continue to rise. So therefore, you're going to need your credit to buy assets with other people's money. So that's why I showed the smart credit video, because it's free. I put a link in the chat room. So if you just now arrived, smash the like button, give it a 1 piece. I'd appreciate it. Share the video still and go check out Smart Credit. It's free to sign up. They have a few months free. You can check it out and improve your credit at the same time for a trial. Just saying, you just have to remember after a few months, if you don't like it, you got to cancel, right? But I'm just saying, go over there, use our link in the chat room. It's a Stop Struggling Now link. It's a special. So this is where we're going, and this is going to happen all over the world. So it's not just DR. It's going to happen in Dubai. It's going to happen over in Thailand. It's Vietnam, wherever, Philippines, wherever you invest. It's going to happen. Tulum, Mexico is now ridiculous because that's a hot spot that people like. And it's a trust, and you don't even know it. It's not even deeded like in the DR. But nonetheless, now you're paying the same price you could have paid 3-4 years ago for being 3 to 5 miles off of the beach now in Tulum. See, this is where it's going all over the world. You're not going to be saved. You're going to have to go dig deep down. You're going to have to go to somewhere in the jungles of South America or something. I don't know. But all I do know is once you are cut off from being able to get assets as an ordinary citizen, you're going to be a slave. And I don't mean slave like it's $14.95 in America or something. I'm talking about you're going to be a slave to having to work endlessly until you die. Because not only going to be able to buy any assets that can bring you money back, now you're going to have to figure out how you're going to make more money just to pay your bills. Because everybody's living paycheck to paycheck, shall I say 78% of Americans. So therefore, we know you're going to have extra income, and we know you have to have a second job. Don't even play with yourself out here. The people that's watching this right now, you have an advantage. You know the statistics. And if it hasn't affected you yet, good, because you have to make moves now, because in 3 years, it's a wrap, unless you're going to be making $250,000 a year or more. I'm just saying, because the upper middle class is next. And soon as we get to about 85% of the population to 87% of the population living paycheck to paycheck, it's a wrap. And what do I mean by that? Ordinary citizen does not make $250,000 or $200,000. Ordinary citizen generally makes somewhere around $60,000 to $120,000. So now they've already left you behind, ordinary citizen. So if you've been paying attention, that's why we've been talking about stock markets. That's why we've been talking about real estate. That's why we've been talking about starting businesses and buying businesses, because you don't have any other choice. Now, I invite everybody to just Google, not right now, but I invite you to Google what happened in France when they went off of their spin with currency, when they had the worldwide currency. What happened when the UK came off of being the global world currency. And then all you have to do is just go back in Google era, 20 years ago, when the EU wasn't the EU. Independent countries all had different currencies, all struggling because all currency goes to zero. So what did they do? They said, hold up. It's better to join forces than to be solo. And that's how we had a Eurozone with a euro. Because together they can keep doing what they always have done. Print money out of thin air, make you pay more money, make you pay more taxes, make the price of everything rise. And so if you just look back a few 10 to 14, 15 years ago, when Europe, and still to this day in some areas, have your bank accounts, you pay to keep your money in a bank account. And I don't mean no $5 or $10 a month neither. Can you imagine having $50,000 to $100,000 in your bank and they're telling you, I'm sorry, sir, you don't keep your money here for free. That's going to cost you a couple $1,000s a year. So therefore, what are you going to do? You're going to take your money out of the bank. And where else are you going to put it? In the frickin' stock market, which gives the wealthy an advantage because you're investing more money into their corporations that allows them to make more money. That needs to be you. You have to start thinking like a corporation now. You can't think as individuals anymore. Everything they taught you, everything they've been telling you for the last 50, 60 years, you can just throw that out the window. But what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. I'm just telling you right now. You better start paying attention because we live in a capitalist system. EU zone is in capitalist system. Everybody, even China, wants to be in a capitalist system now because they understand what they can do. So there's no way to escape. So plan A, credit, got to improve it because you never know when you're going to have to tap something because you may be low on credit and you may be able to buy something on credit. You can. All right. Number 2, stock market. You have to play with the stock market. You can't bury your head in the sand. You have to buy into the stock market. Dividend funds, there's a plenty. Go check them out. YieldMaxETFs.com. Go look there first because they have a high rate of return with high risk. But nonetheless, if you're young, you might like high risk. All right. If you want to be safe, then just go to JP Morgan, JEPI, JEPI or JEPQ. Take your 9.5% to 10.5% annually, reinvest whatever the dividends, and you'll be good. Either way, you're going to have to do something. And this is what happened in the EU zone. Just 10 to 15 years ago, all the older people had to take their money out of the bank. And what do you do with it? They couldn't put it in a duffel bag of cash. They couldn't put it in a duffel bag because it was losing money to inflation. So therefore, they had to invest it, either buy businesses or buy more property, land, do something because it couldn't sit there and not only lose buying power to inflation, but also your bank is taking money every month too. And it wasn't no $5. And it still isn't no $5. All right. So all I'm saying is this is what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. History repeats itself. And that's why you don't ban books. All right. I'm just saying. Let's see here. Let's go. I know it feels good knowing your property has gone up in price, but unless you're selling or leveraging it, the equity to buy more rental properties, that doesn't mean anything. Just my opinion. I 100% agree with you. 110%. Like I said, that's the worst thing that ever happened is believing, hey, man, my house went up. It's worth $200,000 more. And you're sitting there saying it. But in reality, just like Victor Morrell says, does it really matter how much your house is worth since you're paying the bills anyhow? It's a liability. So the only reason it matters is what he just said. Unless I'm selling it or unless I'm taking some cash out to go buy another business so I have another stream of revenue coming in, or taking cash out so I can put it into a dividend stock that I trust and take my 10% annually with no problems, or 12% or 14% with no problems for about the next 5 to 10 years. So again, I love that he said this because his opinion is my opinion as well. And that's why letting your house sit there and keep making payments for 30 years is a travesty. We might have some new people here tonight. So here's what I'm going to do, because some people are maybe confused. They're thinking, what is this? Stop struggling now. Well, here's what's happening. Okay, I already told you 78% living paycheck to paycheck at some time during the month this year, during some of the months this year. That's in stone. Okay. Some of you may not understand what is going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put on screen. Let's see here. Let me go here. And I always have to do this because I'm hoping they changed the Google calculator. Can you believe this? This is crazy. They changed the Google calculator that I used to use. And it's like somebody's watching. Jesus. I mean, who would change the Google calculator? I'm serious. Why would they do that? Look at this. It used to come up on screen, but it doesn't come up anymore. I mean, this is what we're dealing with out here, ladies and gentlemen. See, this isn't even the right one. It used to be so simple. They would bring me up the mortgage calculator. It would just pop up on screen. And now look, it comes up with this convoluted stuff. I wonder why. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'll do it this way, but it's not the favorite because it used to show exactly what I wanted it to show, and now it does not. But let's see what we got. Let's just say 400,000, 20% down. Loan is 320, 4%. What the? Okay, hold on. I'll leave it at 4%. I'll leave it at 4%. Doesn't matter. 30 years, we have a PMI, annual insurance, $1,500. Where do they live? Annual property taxes, $3,000. Where do they live? You're going to have to pay 1.6%. That's over $4,000. What are they talking about here? Okay, I'm just going to add this myself. 4,500. That's not a thing. 1,500 for annual insurance. I don't know where they're getting this from, but it's okay. I'll just leave that the same. Monthly total. They say, hold on. Loan date, May 31st. Okay. Here we go. Am I calculating this? What's happening? We won't even have an HOA. All right. So now that they've taken out what I want to do, let me see if I can find. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I just want to point out something. Here's the interest. All right. You're going to have 30 years, 360, if you went the full 30 years. Okay. Column number 1, 2, 3 is interest, right? Oh, they're not even. Okay. Let's go down to the bottom. Let's see if they actually show me the interest. Column 1, 2, $229,000 in interest is what you paid. So if your house goes up, and as it turns out, I think you end up paying about 500. What does it end up being? 550. Now, before we get confused, you put down 80,000. So $630,000 is what you paid out on a 30-year mortgage. But your property tax did not stay the same for 30 years. Your insurance did not stay the same for 30 years. Your maintenance, your storage, your upkeep, your lawn care, your pool care, your jacuzzi care, your painting, your roof didn't last 30 years. You paid for all of that. So you're damn right your house better be worth about $800,000, $900,000 because your refrigerator did not last 30 years, because your AC unit did not last 30 years, because we all know they go out between 10 to 15 years. We all know all of that. And how much are AC units these days? They're no longer $5,000. They're like $8,000 to $10,000 now to replace your AC unit. Your roof, it's no longer 15 to 20, 30 grand. In some places, it's $80,000, $100,000, $120,000 for roof repair or replacement. All of that you would have to do over a 20-year span, let alone 30. We don't have to get to 30, because by the year 15, you're going to have to do all kind of maintenance. Come on. So you add all of that up, you're damn right the house better be worth $800,000, $900,000, because you paid for it. You didn't win. You took an L. And they make you believe you're winning out here. So this is why when Victor Marrero and myself have this belief, you better use that equity to buy yourself some assets and use that credit, because the asset will pay back your home equity line of credit. That'll pay back any loan situation. That's what you need to do. And if you can do this, then you should be getting some more real estate, and you should be buying into a business that makes profits. So that way you have two streams of income for the same money you took out. Don't be greedy. You don't have to be big and bad. All right? So all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, don't fall for this nonsense. Some people fell for it. Now they're finding out. Texas, California, it doesn't matter where you live. You are getting your real estate tax bills, and you're getting your insurance premium bills. And you're saying, what the hell is this? Or worse, you're getting the notice saying you are no longer covered for insurance. You're getting that too. And I'm sorry, there's only 2 or 3 people that's going to insure you. And sir, you're going to have to pay $9,000 a year, $8,000 a year. You guys, everybody's going to be screwed, because the OCs, ordinary citizens, you are fodder. Nobody's watching out for you. You're fodder. We live in a system that basically relies on working class people to support the system. So if the working class people can't support the system, then you better you should start thinking about, I'm going to be one of the top 10% of the wealthiest on the planet. Everybody's going to have to rise to the top. We're here for it. If you need any help, the chat room's open to everybody. All right. Now, I'm sorry, I had to go off on that tangent a little bit, but we have new people here. They don't understand that they're all happy. Like, for instance, there's a lot of people, right, that bought like Austin, Texas, about 10 to 15 years ago now, when it was popular and it was just popping. And all of a sudden they said, hey, them $200,000 houses, $300,000 houses, they're worth $500,000 now, $700,000 now. But those houses then were $500,000 houses are now worth $700,000, $800,000. Now they're worth $1 million. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If you bought a house 15 years ago, you paid half of what your interest is. So that $300,000 house worth $700,000 or $800,000, plus all the repairs and everything you've had to do on those houses for the last 15 years, you got to put that into the equation. Who in their right mind buys a piece of property? If I am renting a piece of property, since when do I not count repairs? Since when do I not count when the fan stops working, or the AC repairman needs to come over, or when the plumbing guy needs to come over? You're damn right I call that a tax write-off. So if you don't own the rental property and it's your house, guess what? That goes into the coffer on the side of my mortgage, a liability. So every time you need the repair guy to come, and by the way, you need your chimney guy and the AC guy and heating guy to come. If one time a year is enough for you, fine. Twice a year is better. You need the roof guy to come out and check on your roof. All of this stuff should be maintenance, but a lot of people neglect it. But all I'm trying to say is all that goes into I paid bucket. So you're damn right. If I paid $1 million for a house and I had to repair stuff and it cost me $5,000, then that means the house cost me $1.5 million. It didn't just cost me $1 million. The The pool guy cost me freaking $400 a month. The extra electricity because I got to run the sweeper cost me an extra $400 in an electric bill. All of that comes into play. And so a lot of people don't think about it. OCs are out here going, my house is worth whatever. Please. It's a liability, ladies and gentlemen. You need passive income to pay for the liabilities. That is the golden rule here in the SSN Nation. So get the passive income, get the assets. All right, Victor Morero, even with higher income, you are still required to make a down payment on property. Exactly. Middle class wipeouts complete. The only exception I know is a VA loan here in USA. Everything else is at least 3.5% down with a good credit. And by the way, you can only do the 3.5% down with a most places 600 and what is it, $640,000 house. So what are you going to do when the interest rates drop down and the homes are all like $700,000, $800,000, $900,000? You're not going to be able to put 3.5 down. You're going to have to do 20%, which now once again is going to put you out. You're going to put down 140,000, 120,000 down. Is that what you're going to do? And then have $4,500 a month payments? I'm sorry. Middle class, OCs. That means you're going to have to make about $200,000 a year to qualify for your household, $250,000 to $200,000, just to get in and barely survive. Because a lot of people are confused on how much maintenance and upkeep a big ass house costs. Oh man, they got you bamboozled out here, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody's fallen for it and continue because you would not have 78% of people living paycheck to paycheck if people weren't falling for it. All right, let's go. Brian P's in the house. Another superstar investor is here. Mr. Dividend has joined us. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, what can I say, man? I'm in the sweltering heat of the Dominican Republic with a little breeze on the backside, but you can see I'm sweating because I have the window open. But nonetheless, I thought the breeze was going to carry me through, but I got a little hot. Now I'm sweating, I see. Now I'm going to have to cut the AC on, do what I got to do. But that'll be in a second. Hello, SSN family. I'm back in the stock market, as you very well should be. We had a little nosedive, and it's 1%, 1.5% decrease for a few days. Some people took advantage. Then the last couple of days, we rose back up, and it's May. It's May. It ended positive for May. It's a surprise. Not really. Not really. Smash the like button. Thank you so much for that. Give it to One Piece. Make sure if you like what I'm talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. Share the videos, ladies and gentlemen, because you know YouTube blocks us. Now, I picked up 400 shells of ULTY. Okay. All right. I'm glad you are back. And what about that gold stock by Yield Max ETFs? I got me a little bit of that today too. So nonetheless, gold, ladies and gentlemen, got to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Now, Victor Morel says $5K for a new AC. Like you said, those days are gone. I got a quote this week to replace my 5-ton and 3-ton AC units in my Florida home, and it was $20K to $23K. See, here's what I tried to tell you: $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 each. Them days are well over. And you guys, this is my point. What he's just saying, if he has to replace those, which he look, you have to. They only last 10 to 15 years traditionally. So 10 to 15 years. Now look at what it's going to cost you. 20 grand for 2 units. If your house has 2 units. 10 grand to 10 to 15 grand for 1 unit. But now here's the question. You're not going to put in the $9,000, $10,000 unit, right? You're not just going to go, well, you know, my house is 2,500 square feet. I think I should go with that one that, yeah, kind of does 2,500 square feet. That's all the therms I need. Why would you? You're going to have, you better be paying more because you don't want a little machine racking up your AC. I'm just saying. So just think about this. We're talking 20-some thousand dollars if he replaces this. And as I was saying before, you have maintenance and upkeep every year. You should be handling that as well. So now during the course of your lifetime, add 20-some thousand dollars to your $500,000 a month mortgage. Add the annual maintenance for your AC, heater, and whatever else you're going to do. Some people have solar. Okay. $20,000 to $30,000 worth of solar. Are you adding that into the price of your house as well that you purchased? I'm just saying, when you did the rehab of your kitchen, are you adding that into the price of your purchase? I do. That's why I'm a little bullish. That's why I'm bullish on home ownership. I remember all this stuff because I'm a stickler about it, because I really don't like having problems with my house. So I'm kind of like, I do all the service things, and I'm sitting there like, damn, wasn't this like $39 like a couple years ago to come out and check on my AC unit, make sure everything was good? What is this 99? What? Wait, 120? Wait, you just charged me $100 to come here. Since when is this a thing? I never forget all of that crazy started happening. I was like, okay, we got to get out of this home ownership game. All right, this is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. The guy comes out from my upscale unit, refrigerator unit, one of them big ass brand names that the damn stuff costs like $10,000 that you think is going to last for 25 years. Dude comes out. I don't even remember what happened. Something didn't work on the damn thing. The dude comes out and starts saying something like, yeah, that's going to be $3,000 to fix. I'm like, are you serious right now? Have you lost did you just say $3,000? Not for a new fridge. He said $3,000 to fix my fridge. I said, hold on. Why would I do that? I think I need to, I'll just go buy a new one. Yeah, well, you got this nice high-end brand. Yeah, I know I do, but I won't next time. $3,000. And then lo and behold, he takes out the piece, and it ends up being some electronic piece. And after I realized what the piece was, I said, okay, man, you can just, here's your whatever it was. I don't remember. Here's whatever it was for you coming over. And then all I did was go on Amazon and order the damn thing for like $250. This dude tried to charge like $3,000. And I just hooked it back in and we're good to go. I was like, are you for real right now? This was crazy stuff. This is what you have to deal with out here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, a lot of you are homeowners. There's nothing wrong with that. But all that cost that you have incurred, don't think like all that profit is all profit after you live there for 10, 15, 20 years. All right. You're not keeping track of all the expense money that you're spending. And nothing lasts for 20 years hardly in households these days of any mechanical nature. Your AC is going to leak, go out. Your heater's going to go do something. I mean, it's just on and on. Your dishwasher damn sure ain't going to be lasting no damn 20 years anymore. You know there's going to be an issue. And all these things cost 5 times as much as they did 5 years ago. It's insane. All right, let's go. Brian P., congrats. Building your yield max portfolio again. ULTY is still at a good price, $14.34. They're paying $127 per share now. But let's see on Wednesday next week. That's right. I forgot, yield max ETF holders, we get paid in the next 2 weeks. We love that payday. Dividend stocks, ladies and gentlemen. The top 10 percenters, we reside here. We just don't talk a good game. We actually do the game. So if you want to talk about anything, our chat room is open to everybody. You want to contact me, support@stopstrugglingnow.com. I'll answer questions. We don't have a guru zone up in here. I don't charge you. There's no way you can pay me because I'm retiring again in 3 years. I'm just saying. I'll be retiring from YouTube in 3 years, shall I say. Everything else is always fun and games. The guys that make the money never retire. We always like a new game in town, right? So we'll see where this leads. But once again, make sure you get in the chat room if you have any questions. Don't be shy. Any question we will answer. We have a lot of people in business, real estate, a lot of different facets of life. We can help you out here at no charge, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say that. No guru zone. That's all I say. Thank you, Victor Marrero from Brian P. Exactly. Welcome back, Brian P. MSTY, YBTC, Coney, NVDY, EMZY are great also. AMZ is paying 97 cents and the ETF is only $22. What they're talking about here is monthly. Monthly. Can you get 40% return on your money? Can you get 35% return on your money? Yes, you can. In the stock market, of all places, who would have thought? Most people have you brainwashed out here because, again, over the years, I should consolidate and do some things. A lot of people listen to these people out here that say, oh, the number one thing that people buy into is real estate. Okay. Real estate is not even in the top 5 of the richest people in the world or the billionaire, millionaire class. It's not. Finance is number 1. Equities, stocks, ETFs, lending, loans. Real estate's like number 7. All right? So don't be out here fooled listening to, oh, they don't build it, they don't make land anymore. Okay, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. People die every day. Homes are vacant right now in all major cities. All right? So stop with that. They just want you to buy homes because if I have the piece of paper, I got the derivative. You go down and I sell you a $500,000 house under Wells Fargo mortgage, and I do that 100 times. Do we not like $50 million on paper? Do we not like to go somewhere and see a finance company and say, hey, man, you want to take over some of this paper? You take the risk for the rest of the way. Give me 15 to 18 mil. I'll take that up front right now. I think that gives you options. So that's what you should be acting like. You should be acting like a bank that wants derivatives. You want to have opportunities. You want to have options. You want to be able to borrow against your assets. How about borrowing against that piece of paper at interest only at 3%? Wouldn't you love that? Now, you tell me which side of the fence you want to be on. All right, I'm just saying. I won't get into it much more, but credit is going to be needed for the ordinary citizens. But you can't be ordinary anymore. You're going to have to study. I have to break it to you. You have the internet. Use it. Study. Be here in the SSN Nation. We will answer questions. Just get with the program. You can't just sit idly by and say, I'm going to be safe. Because the day of one job and the day of you getting a pension, your pension is not safe. It is not safe. That's number 1. All right? So just make sure you plan ahead. This is financial planning for the next 3 years. All we can do is lead you to the water. I can't keep doing this, but I'm going to keep sounding the alarm. 3 years, upper middle class, fini. And at that point, you know who wins. All those who have businesses, who have assets in all facets of life. That means businesses, that means real estate, that means finance, that means equities, that means stock markets, that means you have derivative power. You have power to borrow against your assets. That's what you're going to need. You're going to need all of it, the whole game. You're not going to be able to do things like what Victor Marrero has done, my dad has done, several other people who were able to have 2 careers. They had this way where they could go in military service, get out young enough, and reap the rewards of getting a pension from the government, and then get another job and have another pension, and then have assets also accumulated and have money coming in on a regular salary. All right? Nothing spectacular. But because of the money after retirement coming in and it increases, inflation increased, they are able to stay ahead of the game better than most and everybody. Therefore, that program has been reduced. So you're not going to be able to be in that program more than likely. You can't be Johnny come lately in that program. So now you have to do it a different way. You're going to actually have to work for a job, hope that you still have a job after 5 to 10 to 15 years, because having it for 20, that's high risk right now. Let's just call it what it is. All these layoffs are going to occur. AI has occurred. Now, all of a sudden, all these jobs that have less meaning, that doesn't require too much, AI could take over. Robots can take over. So now, why would they pay you $150,000 to $200,000 a year? Well, you're going to have to be specialized. That's how it works. If you're not special, you're not getting paid. So how long will the internet work? How long will it be where influencers or people can just dance their way to making money? I don't know. But sooner or later, when ad money and revenues dry up, that means they won't be paying these influencers and other people. Now what? Hopefully, you're using some of that money to buy assets. You can't be playing around anymore, ladies and gentlemen, unless you plan on moving to a lower priced neighborhood or country, because that's about the only way you're going to be able to survive, but you're going to have to make the same amount of money. And just like if I'm in the Dominican Republic, as I am now, if I was actually a citizen here and I could not leave, meaning I can only stay in America, whatever it is, 60 to 90 days, then I have to come back. The cost of living here is lower. The wages are lower. So if you only made $2,000 per month, and that's all you made, how would you be able to move to America or a lot of other places? Your opportunity would have to start here and then somehow get a higher paying job in America to stay there. And as we all know, just a simple rent is you're going to have to make like 4 G's a month. For a one bedroomers, they're $1,000 these days, $1,200, $1,300. You have to make 3 times that amount. So you're going to have to make almost double what the average GDP is here in America, but you're going to be sweating more in America because the cost of living is higher. So these are some of the things that people forget when they live in the Eurozone in America and around the world, that in some countries, there's like a cap. They can't go out here and be like, yeah, give me that $100,000 condo that you may think is cheap. But for them, they're just like, sir, I'm sorry. You can't buy that because we're going to need 20% down. All right. We need 20 G's. And they're like, well, wait, that's my total money I earned this year. I don't have 20 G's to put down. Okay, well, see you in 4 or 5 years. See, this is where this is going. This is why opportunity knocks for some, and then there's a ceiling for others. That ceiling in America is coming. It's already here, quite frankly. This is why millennials, Gen Xers, Gen Zers are all consolidating to the family home, living with their parents or brothers or sisters, family members, grandma, whatever, consolidating, because singly, it's harder to live. So this is why you're going to need to get assets, and it's imperative over the next 3 years. It was imperative for the last 5, like I was saying, but now everybody can now see. When I started saying this 5 years ago, 4 years ago, people were looking at me like I was crazy, and here we are. And 78% don't lie. 78% living paycheck to paycheck does not lie. The middle class has been wiped, just like I used to always say. And I said back then, you had 5 years. You did have 5 years. Now I'm telling you, you got 3. And 3 is only for people who are in the middle to upper middle class. You have 3 years. The middle class has already been wiped. Middle class now has to make decisions. And now in 3 years, even the guys $250,000, $300,000, you're not going to be safe. You're already not safe. But some people feel the heat. People that making 150 to 250,000, they're living paycheck to paycheck. 3 years from now, they're going to be wiped. So again, your preparation is now. Get on with it. All right. I'm going to keep saying this. It's hard out here. I'm over here in the DR. I'm finding out how they're operating over here. All these guys are calculating how much money I make. I'm finding out something very interesting. They're doing deals with me to figure out how much money I make so they can take back the money that they're supposed to pay me. This is crazy stuff. I'll have a video about this shortly because I'm actually going to have a contract talk with Batu about when we did our contract. They're still holding. I had to put down like $5,000 for a bond. All of a sudden, they send me something talking about, yeah, well, we're going to talk about the how much was made. I'm like, no. You need to give me the bond money back. That has nothing to do with nothing. That was just insurance in case somebody busted up something. But now they want to talk. I'm like, talk about what? This is where we have a problem. And that's not the only people. I have some other deals with people. They owe me money. And they're sitting there going, well, excuse. I'm like, okay, look, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not that nice. I've honed this. It took me years to be a nice guy. Years to be in the Zen mode almost. I just can't get to the Zens, but I'm in the Zen mode most of the time. But these guys, they are trying to make me come back to the old E. And the old E isn't that lovable guy that you guys all know. The old E is take no prisoners. I'm taking over. And while I'm taking over, I'm doing the F you from now on. Don't even talk to me. I don't know you. We ain't friends. I've never met your ass after you tried to screw me over. And by the way, I'll come back and jack your business. I like doing that. Meaning, I will slide away some of those pieces that you like of your puzzle. Because you messing with me, I used to be a bad guy. And what I mean is, good guy for the OCs, but all the rich dudes that used to screw people, I used to screw them over too. Not like screw them over, but I'd be messing with their business. So I would take some of their share of business away and be like, see, man, don't F with me no more. You shouldn't have F with me in the first place. This is what's going down over here. I'm about to have some enemies and they're not going to like it. I'm just staying here. Actually, I'm just staying here right now because I have several fronts that I need to collect some money on and people don't want to pay. So now I have to go, okay, we're going to play the game. But don't think I'm going to play right in about another 30 days. Takeover is going to be a whole wipeout. Trust me, it's going down. So I'm talking mess right now, so you guys are going to know. All right. Hey, Eric, check your emails. All right, man. Let's go check some emails here. Let's see. I got something new. Oh, hold on a second. Speaking of Wells Fargo, I had to bring this up. Hold on. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I told you this was going to happen. I told you when you start doing lending person to person, business to business, and you bias other people. Look at here. Oh, hold on. I tried to tell you. You guys keep missing it. You help OCs, they block your help when you're helping OCs. All right, let's get to it. This is what I kind of used to live for in my free time while I was taking over Cali. Let's see here. Here we go. This is incredible. Wells Fargo CEO, regulators restrict Charlie reporting and trading if regulators lift the asset cap that they imposed on it. Oh, okay. It's not what I think it is. I thought it was something else. You know, when we have these peer-to-peer lendings, business to business lending. I thought they were going to start messing with that because they started messing with loans, the payday loans and all that kind of thing. Regulators put the 1.95 trillion asset cap on Wells Fargo as part of fines and regulatory punishments that resorted from the bank's fake account scandal. I'm not mad. Good. It's not BNB. Oh, wait, that wasn't. Oh, that was the article, but why would it talk about BNB lending? All right. Well, it does not matter. The settlement brought the $5 billion, the amount Wells Fargo agreed to pay in connection with this fake account. Fargo, come on now. I don't really care what happens to them guys. They need to be paying a whole bunch more than what they've paid already. They've been jacking customers for the last 40, 50, 60, 70 years. In fact, I digress. They've been jacking people since 1920. Wells Fargo with the nice little stagecoach and the hot boxes that they used to keep people's properties in, which they probably stole back in the day as well. Don't let me get started about Wells Fargo, man. I got no love for these clowns, along with Bank of America as well. No love for any of these Fed banks. The only Fed bank I have love for is Chase. That's the only one. All the rest, I don't even want to say it right now. I'm about to get downright indignant. So, nonetheless, here we go. Thank you for that one. Victor Morrell, he says, what does he say? He says, oh, yeah, he's right. 100K salary is not going to cut it anymore. 100K salary now in USA isn't enough, especially around places like, oh, yeah, you can forget Miami, California. Yeah, you can forget that. Look, damn, back in 2000, I met this girl that was like CEO of some company in New York City, and she was making like 150K, 160K, something like this. And as it turns out, I was like, well, where do you live in New York then? In Manhattan? She's like, I don't live in Manhattan. I stay in Jersey. I was like, okay, smart. Because even then, 25 years, 26 years ago, there was no way. No way even then. So you can only imagine what it's like now. Yeah, it's not going to work in Miami, California. Hell, it ain't going to work in Vegas anymore. It's not going to work anywhere in SoCal, hardly anywhere in Phoenix, hardly anywhere. Idaho. I mean, come on. It's a whole slew of places. Remember, we had this chart just about 2 or 3 months ago where you had to make, there's hardly any places that was under $100,000 a year where you could live. I mean, it was over 500 cities now, where back in the day it was like only like 15 or 20. That's what's going on. It's getting out of hand. All right. You need to bring in at least 150K in order to breathe. Moving overseas is the way out. Exactly. He's got it right. Overseas, like, well, again, sorry to break the news, but we've been talking about it for 4 years when we started talking about overseas investing, when the prices were so low that everybody could get in. When we started talking about 1 bedrooms were $50, $60, $70,000, 2 bedrooms, 99, 105, 110, penthouse units, 120, 125, 130, villas, 150, 170,000. Well, they're only 1,800, 1,500 square feet. But hell, you could buy the Primavera property. It was only 103 for a 1,500 square foot house, 110 for a 1,500 square foot house until 2022. So you had opportunities. Now, I'm sorry. Now you're going to have to pay the piper. You didn't want to put down 10% back in the day and pay 20% during construction or 30%. Now you're going to have to pay 20% down and 40% during construction. And the price is double damn near. So all I can tell you is Victor Morrell is exactly right. You need to consider your overseas properties or places that you like. Go check it out. But let's just get real. You're not going to be moving to overseas, like, let's call it U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. You're not, come on, it costs too much to live there. You're not going to be moving over to St. Martin either now because they're off the charts. Now, only a few Caribbean countries left that prices are cheap. You want to move down to Mexico? Okay, but if you're within 25 kilometers or 30 kilometers of the ocean, you're not deeded. So therefore, you got to be in that trust where you have to have one Mexican representative on your trust and then whatever other BS because it's by the water. Then you say, well, I'll go down to Panama. Okay, go to Panama. All right, you might want to go to Belize or Costa Rica. Go down there. No problem. But all I'm saying is the prices aren't what they used to be. You should have bought in Belize and Costa Rica 30 years ago. Just saying. All right. So Victor Morell's exactly right. Moving overseas is the way out. Hell, you would even go to the EU zone and get cheap stuff. That's why a lot of people went to Portugal, Spain, because Greece, the islands of Greece, cheap. I had my friends calling me like 5, 6, 7 years back. I need property in Greece. I was like, why? You're really going to go travel halfway around the world? Come on, stop. Stop playing with me right now. We're in Cali. What do you mean? Go ahead. Go buy something. How often you're going to be going over there? Seriously. Stop. But the price was so low. Why not? Is what their argument was. Crazy, right? But overseas is the way to go because regardless, overseas is older than America, but somehow prices are less. Make it make sense. How is that possible? Well, there's only one capitalist system in the world that acts like it, and that's been America. Let's call it what it is. All right. Other places value a little more family time, a little more time off, respect. Here, hey, if they could make you work 70 hours a week, like in some state, there's some states that a person can work 70 hours a week and not get overtime. That's crazy. I'm just like, man, I don't know how people live in these places. Work 6 days a week, not overtime. I'm like, what the frick is going on? This is where it's going. I'm just waiting for them to lift the ban on kids working at businesses or factories again. Sheesh, the way people are acting about the hard-working, ordinary citizen, like you're worth nothing. What do you mean? You want health care? Forget about it. You pay for it. You just come here to work and you work under our conditions. I mean, this is just insane. So just think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are heading. We're going backwards because capitalism doesn't always work. We've already had failure points, 1930, Great Depression. We have not had another one. We should have already. But because the United States decided to bail out the rich dudes and make the poor people pay for it, that means they didn't fix anything. They just was like, hey, we fixed it, but they didn't fix it. They just allowed the status quo. So it's just a matter of when, not if, the next crash happens. And those who do not have something offshore are the ones that's going to pay the heaviest prices of all. Because whatever rules they implement, you're not going to be able to have any movements. You're going to have to go with whatever rules they have. If your money's locked at the bank, your money's locked. You don't have another bank somewhere else outside the US, you're screwed. All I'm saying is I'm giving you something that's probably going to happen about the next 5 years, but we'll just deal with the next 3. All right? Get yourself offshore. I don't care if you're in the EU. Thank you for the 1 or 2 people that's going to watch this month. I appreciate it. I have to say it because YouTube blocks they block everywhere. Keep us in the box in the United States, by the way. All right. All views are from US. There's no views from outside the US except for probably 10 a month. How does that work? I don't know. But apparently YouTube doesn't have any control over that. But all I'm going to say is worldwide, there will be a problem because the United States makes the engine work. We're the consumer nation, along with the EU. So if you have a slowdown in the United States, that means the world suffers. If the United States catches a cold, the rest of the world is going to catch the cold. That's how this works. So if we have 80%, 75% of the people living paycheck to paycheck, that means a lot of people can't come to the DR and buy. A lot of people can't go to Belize, Mexico, all these spots. The Canadian customers and citizens, they're under even duress themselves. So they can't do it anymore either. So all the people who came over the last 4 years and bought something and they got their asset at the right price at the right time, they're going to win because their property values have increased. All the people coming now are people who are under the new situation with regard to living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the disposable income. They don't have the freaking 20% down on a $200,000 property. 40,000 versus 20,000, big difference. $3,500 a month versus a $1,500 a month mortgage payment or payment. Huge differences, huge advantages. So I want you to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. You're not too late yet. We still have a few deals that we can run by you to get in, but we can't keep it down. We can't get anything below 20, 40, 40. Those of you who didn't get in the Oasis Lake for the 20, 30, 50, it expired today. So now that $210,000 unit that's going to be up top, you now have to put down $44,000, and the best case is 40%. So now there's only 26 payments, but 40% of 210,000, that's 80, what is that, 84,000? So you can start doing the math. 84,000 divided by 26, that's definitely 3. That's 78. At least $5,000 divided by 20. Yeah, that's going to be like $3,300 to $3,500 per month. So for 26, 27 payments. Now, once again, there's people that can do that, but the number of people that can do that has significantly decreased. A lot different than paying $1,800 per month or $19 or $15, right? That's where we're at right now. On 200,000. Well, guess what? Condos, villas, penthouse units, all are costing nearly 200,000 now. 150, 170, 200, 220, 250, 300, 350. So what are you going to do, ladies and gentlemen? Your credit won't bail you out for that. There's no bailout for that because you can't get credit overseas properties from the United States, especially when it's not deeded. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to figure out a way to have disposable income that you can pay at 0% interest for 3 or 4 years and get some of these pre-construction projects, because otherwise you're going to have to do 20, 40, 40 deals. And sooner or later, they're going to do 20, 50, 40s. And like I said, Noval already has been doing 20, 60, 20s, but they will go down to 20, 40, 40. But that's it. Nobody's doing anything less hardly. 20, 30, 50, maybe, but who cares? 20, 30 is still a problem when you have to do 200,000. And if you have to go above that at 250 and 30%, 75,000, and then they tell you, well, there's 27 payments left, you're still going to be in $35,000 to $4,000 a month territory. So again, this is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. You're dealing with it. So just keep this in mind. I'm not going to keep ranting and raving about this. Credit's going to save you. Use our smart credit to build your credit. You don't need any money up front. You can be on a trial basis for 6 months at least. So therefore, you can check it out, improve your credit score, and determine if you decide to keep it, then you get to pay for it. I'm going to put the link in here once again. Make sure you go to Beachfront Java for our own Professor Auntie Val, to the corporate, which isn't the main thing, but I put that link in there. And yeah, it's getting warmer and warmer for me. Again, I still haven't gotten my, hold on a second. All right. Well, let's just sweat it out. It's no big deal. Why not do a sauna for the night? All right. Um, where's the smart credit? I'm going to put that room. It's down below in the description box as well. Everybody has downloaded Robinhood or Webull, right? Every now and then we have somebody in the house who has not. So I will get the Robinhood and Webull links. And if you haven't downloaded Wealthfront, some people might like to invest where it's set it and forget it. So the reason why I'll put in the Wealthfront is so you can check it out. If you put in $500 for managing it. So that is pretty cool. So go check them out. And I always like it when I put it in for credit purposes, because when you buy assets, you now can borrow against your assets. So I always look at that as a credit strategy where your asset is increasing in value. Therefore, you can tap into it to buy more assets. And that's why we want you to get assets when you're 18 years old versus buying liabilities when you're 18 to 25, which is what you're taught. Go to school, get a loan. Go to school, get a credit card. Go to school, get a job. After you get a job, get a house, get a car, it's on and on, buying these liabilities to block you from getting assets. Your credit might be good, but the only way your credit is good is if you have liabilities. Let's call it what it is. It's a catch 22. So the Wealthfront. Let's see, did that not happen? It didn't happen on YouTube. Let's see here. I'm going to have to figure something else. All right, let's go. The mining stock is on fire, says Victor Marrero. Let's see what he's talking about. HL, it has returned over 22% year to date and over 300% 5 years. Good news is the price is $5.80. Instead of buying Starbucks every day, buy one HL every day. The return is insane. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You never know when surprises happen. That's why you got to keep your pen, pad, and paper handy, because you never know when there's going to be some gems dropped. And then the gems are going to be over, because I've been a little tired and exhausted here. The weather is just weird. It's kind of like just tires me out. It's crazy because it's always warm. Temperature never gives it any cool offs. Like right now, it's starting to breeze up, but there's not really any cool off. I forgot what it's like being in the islands like May, June, July, and August. Man, oh man, it's crazy. Just saying. So I got to go hang out at the beach probably the next couple of days just to see what it's like at the beach when it gets 7, 8 at night. Hopefully it's a little cooler there than it is in this location. So once again, Victor Morel, thank you so much, HL. And I like your thought process. A lot of people out here on their lunch breaks, and even driving home, stopping at fast food joints, getting food, getting drinks, and don't even think that $30, $40, $50 they're spending every day, that they could have actually bought some shares of stock that could give you a return on your money on a monthly basis. Even if it's only $5 to $10 to $20, that is still money coming in that you would not have had, because it can get up to 50, then 100, then 200, then 300. It just keeps rolling, but you have to get in. All right. It's that simple. You have to get in, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Unfortunately, I'm doing live streams a little shorter than what I've done in the past. Why? I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable, not from you. I'm only uncomfortable for where I am. If I run, like I didn't have the AC on, I'm sweating. I run the AC in 2 rooms. Guess how much it's going to cost me? It's ridiculous. You're not going to like it. This is only a 1-bedroom. It's going to cost $20 a day. You do realize there's 30 days a week. You did hear what I said, a 1-bedroom that's no bigger than 500 square feet. $600 a month if I run 2 zones of AC during majority of the day. That's insane. But see, this is what one of the problems is. CEPM, the energy company, 21 cents, 19 cents kilowatts per hour. You would think it may be less, but it's not. But $600 a month for a 1-bedroom for electrical is outrageous. So I'll sit here right now and be with you guys to let you know, even I have little, here's the thing. The money you save is the money you can put towards assets. No problem. Pay $600, Eric. Okay. But why pay $600 if you only have to pay $260? That $300 or $400 can be used as bullets to buy more assets. Just like Victor Moreau was just saying, it's like a cup of coffee every day or 2 cups of coffee every day. I could be buying assets. That's what I have to do. We have to buy assets. Remember, I'm retiring from YouTube videos in 3 years. I don't make money on YouTube videos. I'm just going to tell you guys like it is. Don't be confused. We don't have thousands and thousands of views where there's money coming in. I'm actually been doing this for damn near, literally for free, damn near. I thank all the members who have the icon next to their name because they're actually paying for a membership. But again, it's not like thousands of people. But the point is, the ad revenue and things like that does not come in because I'm not one that has ads. When I do our regular video, I only have ads generated at the beginning and at the end. I don't have ads during any of our videos other than live stream videos. Afterwards, during the live stream, there's no ads. Notice no ads pop up. But after the live stream, I put in generally one every 30 minutes just to break up the monotony. So however long the live stream is, depending on if it's 2 hours, then you'll see 4 ads you'll see one every 30 minutes. Plus at the beginning and end, of course. But otherwise, in a regular live stream, you guys never see ads. I could insert them, but I don't. But would I really make a lot more money or something? No, I only make a few $100. That's it. This whole time you guys are thinking, well, he's got views and this, that, and the other. No, come on. That's not how this works. The only way you make a lot is when you have one of these guys where they get 30,000, 25,000, 100,000 views. That's not here. I don't even have a video that made 100,000 views that's been out for 5 years. So I don't even have over 25,000 views on any video that's been out for years. So again, we're in a different ball game. I'm an OC. And you guys are here getting the real. Because I don't have no vested interest in these guys. I'm not trying to do clickbait. I'm not trying to get you guys over here. I'm giving you the real deal so you can make money real way. Not listen to these other people who's never done it. You guys need to understand it takes time. You have to cultivate. You can't just open up and be like, oh yeah, we're going to make $150,000 year one. That's not how it works. You have to cultivate. You have to come. You have to do something. You have to be here. Put the lay of the land. Go see it. Put the work in. No matter what you do, whether it's business, does not matter. You have to put the work in. You have to gain some knowledge. You're going to have bumps in the road, and you're going to have to maneuver those obstacles. That's why it's been very interesting while I was here, seeing how when you enter into agreements, they're calculating how much you're going to make and then try to make a deal based on how much they're going to be able to extract back from you. And I'm like, why are you talking like this? What the hell's going on? You're saying things that make no sense. And then they give it away when they say, well, you're going to make, what difference does what I make matter? You're not supposed to be getting any of this. You're already getting some of it. That's the agreement. So now you're trying to figure out how you can get more money because you know I'm going to make more money. What kind of nonsense is this? I don't even want to do business with you guys. I'm like, now, like the takeover, I'm thinking, what am I going to have to take over when these guys are blocking their own success because they're too worried about making little deals where they can somehow extract more money from me. Remember when I told you guys last week that I thought I was going to have this real estate show? The guys come to me and say, hey, Eric, I want you to start this real estate podcast show for us. I'm going to put it on the channel. I'm not even going to name their name now. I'm going to put it on our channels. It's going to be on FM. It's going to be on podcasts, on online streaming, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to be bringing some people in. I'm going to be talking, and I'm going to think, okay, we got to have sponsors maybe, or you're going to have sponsors. I don't care about that money. You keep it, because I just care about, I'm going to be trying to sell some projects. So therefore, I'll be making a little bit of money. And then you guys keep the money from any sponsors that come in. No, we don't want to do that. We want you to pay us $1,000 a month. I'm like, well, why'd you talk to me? I don't need you. I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, what? Why would I do that? I don't need you to do a podcast for me. I'm on the internet already. And if I want to bring 2 or 3 people on my own stuff, I'll do my stuff. Why do I need you? Okay, people here can't afford to buy condos and villas generally. I mean, there are people that can afford it, but what I'm trying to say is there's not a large swath of people. So what are we talking about here? So the real deal was they said all that so I would come in and give them money for their channel. I'm like, dudes, come on. If I'm going to do that, I know a place here that I can just rent their studio and do my own podcast without your ass. And it'll cost me less than this. I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, I don't understand. So you come talk to me 2 times and say, yeah, man, we're going to set up this podcast. We're going to do it. And it's not going to cost you anything. And then when I actually get done with what I'm doing and talk to you, it's like, oh, yeah, you got to give me like $600 for this. It's going to be editing. Da, 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 da. I'm like, what? Well, then why'd you tell me like 2 weeks ago? What were you talking about? I see. It's a teaser. Well, you teased yourself right out of us working together. Because I don't need your ass. If I wanted to do something, I'll do it myself. I'm doing this right now. 3 more years, you guys have me. So make use of it. After that, I'm off in the winds. I'm going to be visiting. Hold on. Let me do this. Let me know if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. So anyhow, here's the thing. I'll be off in the winds. I'll be hanging with Victor Marrero. I'll be hanging with Mr. and Mrs. Cool over in the EU zone. I'll be spending time over there. Then I'll be spending time in the DR. Then I'll hang out in USA every now and then. But I think I'm going to be on the EU tour for a little minute. In 3 years, though. 3 years. And then I'm going to start it in 2 years. But in 3 years, definitely, I'll be hanging out in the EU zone. Victor Marrero, and I know Mr. and Mrs. Cool will probably be over there occasionally, and a few others of you. And I will be going down to my favorite spot in Los Cabos. I'll be hanging out there and a few other places around the world. But nonetheless, it's over. You got 3 years. June, 3 years from now, June 1st, retirement. 15th, there'll probably be 1,500 to 2,000 videos out by then. There's already like over 1,000. I don't know how many. Doesn't really matter. But the point is, 2,000 videos, that's what I'm leaving for the legacy. That's it. And then after that, it'll just be once every blue moon, but that's only because I'll be like, hey, guys, I'm over in Switzerland. Just to let you know, we're having fun. I mean, that's all it's going to be at that point, because I don't make money from YouTube, all right? Doesn't happen. Don't believe the hype. I should one of these days show you my 100 and some odd dollars I get, right? Basically $5 a day is what I get, $5 a day. I sound like one of those refugees or orphanages kids. It's just send in your donations for $5 a day, right? Come on. This is crazy. All right. Here we go. He's like, Eric, Stay there. Florida is smoking right now, especially today. I'd rather have the ocean breeze there. Hey, man, there's no ocean breeze. That's what's been happening. You see me sweating. I have the windows all open. There's no breeze coming through. There was a breeze. Now there's no breeze. It's almost like I want to go down to the beach right now to find out where the damn breeze is. It's been like this, like we're in a, what do you call it? A low, where it's like just moisture, humidity's just sitting. Barely a breeze comes. I mean, it's crazy. But it's all right. We're having the same thing, man. It's almost like in Orlando right now. Exactly. I remember I hung out in Orlando in the summer for a few days. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. It just sits there. It's crazy. Just like in Georgia in the summer. Sits there. Wait. Is the AC on? That Airbnb separate? Says, when do you have to pay electricity on top of the monthly rent? Victor Marrero, this is what's going down out here. This is the new thing, man. Just like in America, they're making you pay for everything. Yes, there's no you pay rent and they pay electricity. Why? Because here it's expensive. If I rented a place and I left these AC units on, the bill would be $30 a day. If I actually left them on, like while I was gone and doing that, like most people would do, you'd be paying $30 a day. All right. That's $900 per month. So no landlord is risking letting you run up the bill and you're going to pay them later. That's not going to happen. Not going to happen, man. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. We can call it the reunion of the OCs. You need to leave work to the youngsters coming up now. Hey, man, the youngsters, all they're going to be doing is treading. It's one of these situations that's going to happen, and it's already started. Why go to work when all I'm doing is working to pay for my rent and food? That's where we're at. So people are complaining about the young people. They're going, man, they don't want to work. They don't want to do. Let me ask you something. If somebody tells you you're going to be making $20 per hour and you're 21 years old or 18 or 19 or 23, 24, you do know 40 times 20 is $800. Let's just call it 20%. You know that's freaking $640. $640 times 4 is roughly $2,500. You know good and well you cannot live anywhere for $700 per month because that's all you are going to be allowed to spend. Remember, you can only do 30%. Where are the $700 a month units? They aren't. That's a room in a lot of cities. And in some cities, $700 isn't good enough. You're going to have to make $1,000. So that means you need to make $3,000 per month to move in their spot. So why would anybody think that's a good idea? Look, you're not raising dummies. All right? It's a mathematical equation. If I got to work for $30 an hour and it cost me a third of my paycheck after Uncle Sam takes out 20%, that leaves me with less than half. And I still have to buy food. For the month. I still have to pay electricity. I still have to pay whatever other, and my business, I have to pay my health insurance, part of it with the business. I mean, it starts adding up. So it turns into first of all, who's going to pay me $40 an hour? Let's just start with that. Let's just start with, we have 3,000 corporations in America. Let's just say, I don't know the number. Out of the 3,000 corporations, the entry point, let's just say 2,500 of them all pay less than $40 per hour entry points. Now the question is, how long do I have to work there in order to get $40 an hour or more? They say, but hey, man, you're going to have to work here 10 years. You don't have 10 years. And you think people want to join the party? think they're going to be all happy about going to work for somebody making $15 to $20 per hour, $25 per hour, knowing good and well they can't get out of having roommates? Let's get real. What kind of life is that, man? It ain't a good one, in my opinion. So here we go. Victor Morel. Yeah, man. You have to be kidding me. Are you saying we're all looking at $20 per day for electricity on our project? Or is that because it's an Airbnb setup? No, I'm saying you're looking at $20 per day. That's what I'm saying. If you, first of all, whoever has central heat and air, I feel for you, because that means you're going to be cooling areas of your place that you don't need. But that means you're going to have to keep the AC on, even if you're in the living room and not even in the bedroom, or vice versa. So now, yes, that's what I'm telling you, Victor Marrero. If you have a 2-bedroom, if you have central heat and air, you will be paying $20 a day. If under SEPN, if you have a 2-bedroom, but you have the single units where you have AC in each room, where you can cut it on only when you're in that space, then that's about the cheapest way that you're going to be able to keep it under. If you have a 1-bedroom, we do like $8 to $10 a day, but that's only because usually one AC unit's on. It's only because that I'm in here, the wife's in the room, that she has the AC on. So I didn't cut the AC on thinking I had a nice breeze coming through. But now I've been sweating in the sauna for now. This is like a sauna out here. I'm inside though, but it feels like I'm outside. Jesus, it's warm. But anyhow, yes, that's what you're looking at, Victor Morrell. That's what a lot of people don't know. If you're going to live in your unit, it's going to be like that. 15 to 20 probably. Well, yeah, actually, it depends on what you do. You have to turn off the AC when you leave. If you leave the AC on while you're down at the beach and it's on for 2 or 3 hours, yes, you will be doing $20 per day, especially if you have a 2-bedroom. So I'm just saying, yes, that's what you're going to be looking at. It's under SEPN. They're no joke. These guys they're bad. So like right now, this 1-bedroom is going to, well, I haven't calculated, but it should be around 200. It's going to cost $250 probably this past month. It probably cost me $250 because I basically put in it's not bad because I understand what we do, but we're not here. So that helps out a lot. But 500 pesos is a little under $10. That lasts roughly about 2.5 days, only because I was running around all over. We are running around. But now the last 5 to 6 days I've been here, the 500 pesos, well, let's just say I need to put in more than 500 pesos to last 2 or 3 days. And it was cooler last week too, so that helped out. There was breezes blowing through. It was overcast, rain, drizzle, so it made it cool. So that 500 pesos lasted 4 or 5 days. But nonetheless, it's still almost like $9 or $10 a day. I'd be willing to bet you I'm going to end up spending $300 for the month of May. Well, I haven't been there the whole month, but 3 weeks. So it's probably 200 and something. But yes, Victor Morrell, count on it. 15 to 20 a day for a 2-bedroom for sure. For sure. Unless, of course, we start talking about, November, January, February, it's a little bit, better. But as soon as it starts getting April, May, June, July, August, September, it's going to be bad. E. White, another investor extraordinaire, has now joined us in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Friday night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, "Good evening, SSN Nation." Good evening to you, E. White. Very, very happy to see you. You can see I'm still in La Corrales. Damn, Eric, we'll have to factor that into the nightly rate. Other option will be to have a thermostat that you can control, i.e., only if you bypass it, it won't go below a certain temperature. Right. but that's not going to help you. You're not going to be able to buy. Well, okay, you can bypass anything man-made, but the point is, that's what you would have to do, man. But again, yeah, you would have to. It's crazy. E. White's here, who's also stayed in the one-bedroom unit, and he might be able to give insight on how much he had to put forth. But generally, it's $10 a day, especially if you leave on the AC. It's going to be more than that if you leave it on while you're out. But you're roughly, I've always put it in $10 per day. So that's what it is. I probably spent a little less than that. We'll even round it down to maybe 7 because we're out a lot. But that's still a lot, $210 for a one bedroom. That's not chump change. It's not like it's $100 or $75 like it would be in America or something. This is crazy. And these are actually push on and off single units. It's not central heat and air, so you're not filling up the whole place, which would cost more. You're actually using these little units that uses Freon. The AC unit went out, and the repair guy came, and he's like, I got to go get some Freon. I was like, Freon and these little things? I'm like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. Freon they're using inside these things. I was like, the little secret sauce. I was wondering how they get this thing cool because I know good and well the transformation wasn't happening outside. But yeah, you have to factor it in, Victor Morrell. But no, you don't have to factor it in. You do what everybody does. If you rent it out, you just have the people pay. Well, there's several things that happen here. One place I stayed, I've been checking things out. They said I had to pay a deposit. Like it went by how many days I was staying. I think I was staying like 3 days. They go, well, the average bill per day, it was at Namas Beach, which is almost right 100 yards from La Bruja, straight across the street. $15 a day is what they charge because they said the average is $15 a day. It was a two bedroom, one bath. But since it was me and the wife, didn't need the second bedroom. But all I'm saying is they were $15 a day for the unit. I had to prepay. That's what it was. And they wouldn't even give me the return back, is what they said. So just letting you know, some people do it that way. Other people just say, okay, the meter is here's the SEPIN number, and the SEPIN place to add the energy there's several places. So they'll say, here it is. Here you go look at the balance. So like we can look up the balance right now and see how much we have left. And if you don't have enough or think you're too low, you just go to the machine, put in some pesos, and add. But that's what everybody has to do. I didn't even know where the SEPA machine was because I was like you, Victor Morrell. The first time I rented here, the person told me to read the meter and pay them after. But everybody else, no. You're doing SEPIN. The machine is over here. You put it in. We're not even involved with this. So you're basically, they put it to me to do it in a lot of the places now, which you can see could happen because it's kind of like, why are you even involved when they actually have a machine that, it's maybe, I don't know, let's just call it a 1/10 of a mile walk to the machine. There's 2 of them that's close by. It's not that far. You'll be there in 3-4 minutes, but they have 2 of them. So why would you even bother? You would just tell people, here's the code, just like what I have here. I have a code that tells you what the energy number is, and that's where you go to the machine and put it in. So why you would just eliminate that if you're the landlord. You wouldn't even bother with it. You just tell them, here's the code, go reload. So that way you don't even have to deal with $15 a day. I'll take a deposit. Or I've had another situation. I'm trying to think of the other one. What did I have to do? One, they let me, the first time I stayed, they let me, and then I paid them in the backside. The next person, did something similar, but they wanted me to pay a deposit. And then the third person, who I've always rented from thereafter, just gave me the number for the electrical account, and then I just go to the machine and pay. So then that way I know how much my usage is. I don't have to worry about deposits. I don't have to worry about anything. We just pay on demand. Or I can just pay $100 in pesos, 6,000 pesos, and be good for, estimated for me right now, probably 12 to 15 days. So, you know, like I said, they're probably going to end up costing me about 200 to 240, something like that. So just so you know. Here we go. So here's E. White. Let's go. Here we go. Let's see what E. White says, because he stays here too. I usually turn everything off when I leave, but yes, it's about $10 a day. So he's had the same thing, same experience as me. And then he says, look at this one. He says, I had to leave a $200 deposit at the beach villa. Yeah, see, it all depends, but nobody's allowing you to just roll in, and they're not doing that, Victor Marrero. You're not going to do it either. Electricity is expensive. You're not going to leave it in your name and let somebody else roll out. E. White, they read the meter and gave me back the difference. Yep, that's the options as well. So that's the kicker. Let's go. Victor Morrell says, one thing to consider is the fact that our units will be brand new and the ACs will be high efficiency, which consumes less power. We have those in Puerto Rico and the bills are just like USA. Yep, exactly. But Victor Marrero, I don't know about the high efficiency, though. You would think that. I've stayed in even the latest. I stayed at Paseo del Mar. Their AC units weren't any more high efficient than the ones over here in Coral Village that they did, or at Namaste, that were only built like 2 years ago. So it's all the same. There has been no difference in the ACs. Especially for, well, I've never stayed in central heat and air, only with the AC units. And generally, this particular unit has an older unit, and there's a significant difference in the electrical bill. You leave that on for like 5 hours in this living room, it kicks off 4 kilowatts. Versus the one in the bedroom, you can leave on for 5 hours, and it'll do like 1.5 kilowatts. So there is a huge difference, and this one is the one that they had to repair and do some freon, but this one over here is clearly less efficient, and it's a different model that's in the bedroom. So they've replaced this one, or this is an older unit. I don't know which one, but that's what's happening. But you're right on some point about the efficiency. The newer unit should be more efficient. I've never stayed in an Airbnb, so let me ask, is there a DR only thing, or that's how all the Airbnbs worldwide operate? Oh, they all operate, well, I shouldn't say all. When I was in the Philippines, same thing. Mexico, trying to think, same thing. It all depends. It's not 100% everywhere, but generally that's the rule. You're going to pay. St. Martin, I didn't stay in an Airbnb. So I don't know. But I did stay, well, actually, I do know. I did have to pay an energy charge. Was built in. They just, well, at the time, it was like $6, $7 per day. They just built it in, just like in Lake Tahoe right now. If you go stay in Lake Tahoe, it's some of those places, they have an energy charge. It's built in. This is where it's all going, quite frankly. This is not a DR thing. This is worldwide. This is what's happening. So that's where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what happens. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna be done with the sauna tonight. So we'll see what happens. All right. We'll see what happens. All right. Okay, man. Well, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. But before you go, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you check the links down below in the description box. There's some things I haven't even talked about. We talked about credit, getting a smart credit, but I didn't talk about national credit to improve your credit because, we don't really want you to waste time with more credit. But hey, if you need it, you need it. The extra credit marks on your credit score to try and improve it. Then we did not talk about unstoppable domains, where you should have at least an unstoppable domain because you never know where crypto is going to end up. But at least you'll have your domain name or your crypto name for, $20, 15, 10, 20, $30. And it could be .crypto, .nft, .bitcoin wallet, and a few others, .x, .888, things like that. So get in on that, even though you don't use it, but it's worth it. There's a link down below for unstoppable domains. There's your Robinhood, Webull, and Wealthfront. If you don't want to deal in stocks and you want somebody else to manage it, then for $500 to $4,999, no cost, Wealthfront to manage your money. That link is down below in the description box. So hopefully that helps out a few people, because bottom line is the credit can save you, but you're going to have to use it to get assets that give you money. Don't buy a house with your credit. Buy an asset that gives you a return on your investment and use that return on investment to buy the house. That's what they should be teaching everybody from the time they're 5 years old to 12 years, 15 years old, instead of the other way around. So just keep all that in mind, because the middle class, the upper middle class, is about to get wiped out in the next 3 years. And if they're about to get wiped out, then the middle class and lower middle class, it's already too late. So that's why we got to keep talking about all of these ways to get that passive income in here. All right, E. White, he's mentioned, and I might have to take a split air conditioning course. There will be a demand in DR for service techs. There you go. There's already a demand. The guys that came here to fix this, I couldn't believe it. It was like this kid. The kid was under 18. And the other guy was just looking like some random dude that they got from the sitting somewhere that knew about ACs. It was not a company. That was what, but you have hit it right on the head. The infrastructure that's going to be needed. Who do you think is going to be servicing thousands of units? There's not enough people, right? There's no skill set. There's no heating and AC unit guys rolling around. When you have 2 or 3 of these units in your place, or central heat and air, they're going out, especially when you have units that have 500 units, 400, 300, 200 units. Somebody's AC is going out all the time. Come on, let's get real. So that will be in demand, E. White. That is another business opportunity that you just mentioned that somebody could actually get in right now. I like the thinking. I love the thinking, quite frankly. So there we go. Another business opportunity has been mentioned here in the SSN Nation for some people to take advantage of. Well done, E. White. Well done. But yes, that would not be out of the question. Might as well take a minor. Of course, these things got to be simple. It's not like intricate. So, it might be worthwhile. And I'm pretty sure it's only going to be a 3 or 4 month course as well. So, not bad. I love that idea. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I got to run. Make sure you smash that like button. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like it further, please come back on Monday night at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and join us for the Money Making Monday live stream. That'd be greatly appreciated. Check out the video I just dropped earlier today talking about the 78% of people who are living paycheck to paycheck. The articles and the links are in the video I dropped earlier, so please check that out. And with all that said, I know it's extra hot in the hot seat right now for people all over the world. And I don't mean the weather. It's hard out here. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe. Make sure you keep your head up, because you have to make sure and see where you're going. And whatever else happens, you know what comes next. And I'm out.